Hi, I'm John Ray, and welcome to the Thriving Podcast. I'm your host and intuitive coach, dedicated to amplifying your intuition, transforming your mind, and igniting your inner magic to create a life you're obsessed with. 2 years ago, I was burnt out as fuck in a toxic relationship and a successful tech career that I just wasn't happy in anymore. I left it all behind with no plan, and now I'm running my own business, immersed in purpose and passion, happily married to my soulmate, and living out my dreams every single day. And if you're badass enough to be listening to this podcast, then you're already on the fast track to doing the same, babe. On this podcast, we'll dive into all things life, business, heart, mind, body, and soul, empowering you to up-level your life and embody your happiest, healthiest, and hottest self. It's time to make idealistic your new realistic, because you're not just here to survive, you're here to thrive. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to the podcast. Happy Thriving Thursday. So today I have a very special, exciting episode. I am actually leaking a portion of an incredible training that I led for my mini mastermind, the Magnetic CEO mini mastermind, this past week, or I led this one last week, actually. I think I mentioned previously in the podcast, I led 2 business trainings for this group. One was Magnetic CEO Codes, all about business energetics and identity embodiment. And the other one was all about intuitive launching, magnetic marketing, and sales. Basically, the way I formatted it was the first training was, who do you need to be a magnetic CEO and have a magnetic business? And the second training was, what do you need to do? What action do you actually need to take to be successful? And they complemented each other really well. I was really, really proud of how they came out. This is actually the first time that I have put my entire process really together in a thorough training like this. And I honestly have never seen anybody explain and teach business the way that I teach it. And really, really, I feel proud of that. And I really love what I do. And it's such a unique approach. And it really shows in my clients, because the number of testimonials just keeps growing of clients who have one session with me, literally have one session with me after years of feeling stuck in their business, of trying to get their business off the ground and not seeing results, or not being able to get clarity, or falling off of consistency on and off, falling through the same patterns in their business. In one session, we just shift the entire paradigm of what business can look like for them. And they instantly start seeing results. They instantly start feeling so much more inspired, have so much more clarity in their vision, have a brand new approach to how they're going to launch. They completely shift the offer that they're focusing on. And literally the girls in this mini mastermind over the past 2 weeks, it is wild. And I've really just I'm just been in so much gratitude every single day, because I'm like, wow, gratitude that I get to do this for my job, gratitude for all of these women's and the dream clients that I get to serve, and gratitude for how fucking good I am at it, and the results that they're seeing. It's just I can't keep up. I was literally saying in the chat with them, I quite literally cannot keep up with all of your wins. Literally, one of the girls, she's been on and off in her business for 3 years with never really gaining much traction at all. It's always felt hard. She's always struggled to stay consistent with content, always really been crickets with clients, never really had many signups, not really made much money from it. And she came to me in December and was like, I really feel like I need to give my business one final try. I really don't want to give up on this, but I'm feeling really stuck. I don't really know what I want to focus on. Would love your support with this. And so we had a session, and ever since that we had that session in December, she has been crushing it, literally slaying the game, showing up consistently every single day on her stories, posting content, and her energy is so there. And you can just feel the shift in her confidence and her clarity and her vision and what she's offering. And just within these past 2 weeks being in the mini mind, literally, we completely shifted her launch approach, completely shifted the offer she was focusing on, because before she was spreading her energy in 3 different directions, trying to focus on 3 different offers, and we got rid of all the offers that were being driven from lack, and we really honed in on intuitively where is your desire and what is lighting you up and what feels expansive. We made a launch approach that felt expansive and easy for her to stick to. This is the thing that I talk about all the time. is if the way that you're promoting your work feels draining, feels like a chore, feels stressful and overwhelming, then we just need to shift something about the way that you're doing it, right? Something about your process, because I promise you, there is a way for you to promote your work and promote your services and get clients. There's a way for you to market yourself and sell yourself that feels exciting and aligned and actually motivates you to show up, right? A lot of the time it's like, oh, I have to get myself motivated to show up, but actually we could just make the work in the process so aligned and energizing and expansive that it motivates you to show up and consistency becomes natural. So that's what we did with her. And she's been consistent as fuck, putting herself out there, literally starting up conversations just with people at her daughter's volleyball tournaments and networking all over the place, putting herself out in Facebook groups. And she's already gotten like 4 signups for her free workshop that's happening next week. She's had 2 people reach out interested in her private coaching, and she had someone reach out to collab with her. Like, are you kidding me? That's just one example. Like, oh my God, I could spend forever telling you the stories. I have another client who literally, we have actually been working together on and off. She's done a lot of my free offers over the past year, and she's like literally quantum leaped multiple times. The first time that I really spent time with her working in depth, her like biggest goal was to move into the city and get a job. And literally by the end of those 2 weeks, she had moved into the city and gotten her own apartment for the first time ever and was making her own income. And then since then, she got the inspiration to apply to esthetician school, and she's now graduated with her license and is literally opening her physical spa, already has appointments booked for opening day in just a few days. And just within these past 2 weeks, she has just shifted so much energetically to open herself up to success. That was a big thing that we've worked on with her, is really just being afraid to let herself succeed because of not wanting to make other people around her feel bad, and just having been in a different identity and a different life for so much of her life, and generational trauma that we've healed around feeling guilty about like previous women in my family didn't get this life that I'm creating and why do I deserve it, and so much around self-worth, to where now she literally is opening her spa. She's manifesting money like crazy, you guys, like crazy. Like, she puts the intention out and it comes in. It's wild. And like, she has just lived through a lifetime. So I'm so freaking proud, like literally seeing this business come to life from seed to full-blown garden. It's incredible. And seeing these women actually bring their dreams into reality, get these businesses and these huge visions that can feel so overwhelming and confusing at the start, like literally into clarity and into action, and actually getting these businesses up and running. Another client that was in the mini mastermind, she quit her full-time job to go full-time with her social media management business about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. I think she just had her 1-year anniversary, and we got on a call just a couple weeks ago, and she was just feeling so down in the dumps. And I could literally see as soon as we got on the call, like her light was just so dimmed. She was not believing in herself. She just was barely being able to be consistent with her habits, and she just had a lot of shame. She was like, just where did I go wrong? I feel like I failed so much. She had lost clients because she wasn't showing up as fully as she thought she would be able to be, and just a lot of it wasn't feeling aligned. So she wasn't feeling motivated to get new clients because she actually wasn't feeling aligned with the way she was running her business. There were a lot of boundaries for her to set, and again, just after that one session, we shifted so much. We helped her illuminate that she actually had other creative passions that she was really ignoring and suppressing. We helped really reconnect her to that inner security and feeling of safety within to help with her relationship with money. We worked a lot through money blocks and really healing her relationship with self-trust. She was afraid to let herself get excited about being successful again because she was like, what if it doesn't work out? And we did a really powerful somatic meditation. And again, just through these past 2 weeks of being in this mini mastermind, literally she is back on her shit. She is showing up every day. She is reigniting her passion. She's writing more. And she literally just got a new job opportunity for a new client to create content for that she is so excited about, that came out of nowhere, that she was completely not expecting, that literally came through the day after we did a somatic meditation on the self-trust and the money. So it's just insane. Like, I'm telling you, I could go on forever, but that is just 3 mini stories of girls who were in the mini mastermind these past 2 weeks. Again, 2 weeks. So all that to say, if any of this resonates with you, if you have been feeling like your business is a chore or stuck in that belief that you need to work hard to make money, or so caught up in all the noise online of what everybody else says it has to be and has to look like, or you have so many ideas and you just don't know where to start, or you're coming up against confidence blocks. You've had this idea for a really long time and even I had somebody who's like, I've really been thinking about this for so long and I've just not taken any action. And she's now made the page. We've got her pricing set up. She's got her first post planned. Like, those small little actions of literally, again, planting the seeds and watering them every day are so huge, because I know there are so many of you out there, because I was the same way. You're sitting on these ideas for so long, and it's like those ideas like want to be brought into the world. And so I'm so excited to help support you in that, to help you unlock that confidence, that clarity in your vision, to really step into that empowered CEO identity, to bring it all to life and really create the vision of your dreams and create the business of your dreams and the life of your dreams and share your magic with the world and get paid abundantly as fuck to do that, because that is what you deserve. So, early bird enrollment for my full 6-month mastermind, CEO Frequency, is open now. Early bird closes end of day, Friday the 31st. So to learn more details on that, reach out to me, send me a DM. I would love to chat, even if you just have questions. If you're not sure if it would be a good fit, I'm also happy to just chat about like where you're at in your business and actually give you some advice. And you can see like the kind of work I do and see if it resonates. We can get on a call. I'm happy to support you in any way that I can. I would love to see if it's an aligned space for you, because it's just so magical and powerful. And I'm so excited for this next cohort and everything that they are going to experience over the 6 months. And I'm so grateful for everything that I receive from them too. It's a magical, magical place. There's so much freaking more I could say about it. That is just the littlest bit of the magic of CEO Frequency. I just had like a ding go off on my computer. I don't know if you heard that. But if you're curious, again, just reach out. I'm happy to talk about it. Check out my stories, check out my page. I have a lot of information in my highlights about it. I really love that it's such a multidimensional space, and it really is completely holistic, multidimensional support for your life and your business. I call it expansion through entrepreneurship, because you are expanding as a person, as a human. You're expanding in your personal life. You're expanding spiritually. You're expanding as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, and your business is expanding as a reflection of that. So it's just like nothing I've ever seen in the space, in the market. It is the kind of business support that I wish that I had starting out, the kind of spiritual support, the kind of support in general that I wish that I had on this path, because it can feel very isolating being on the spiritual entrepreneurial journey. And it's really, really powerful to have that support and also just be surrounded by a community of women that get it, and to see, oh, they're going through the same things I'm going through. They have the same questions I have. And also to be able to build up your own confidence of like, oh, I went through that and I actually have good advice for that. And, like I actually have moved through that. And like we heal in community, we heal together. And women are so powerful when we come together and support each other. So I'm going to shut up about that. I'm so freaking excited. Again, early bird ends the end of this week. So send me a message. Just DM me the word frequency. I will also have a link in the show notes, either for an application or just to DM me. I'm not sure. I was going to put an application together, and I'm kind of like, maybe I just want you to DM me, because I would rather talk to you anyway, because I am very like, I want to make sure it's a good fit for both of us and it feels aligned. And so I'm going to want to have a conversation with you no matter what. So just send me a message. But yeah, I'll put any information details that you need to know in the show notes. Also, I do want to say about the early bird, this is the last chance to get the monthly one-on-one sessions included. Okay, so not only are you saving like over $2,000 off of your investment, but you also get 6 bonus one-on-one sessions. So you get 1 a month, which is so invaluable. I mean, literally, like I said, the massive shifts in manifestations that my clients have after one 60-minute session with me is insane. So you really, really don't want to sleep on that. The one-on-one support supplemental to the group support is so irreplaceable. So all that to say, the leaked training is from the Magnetic CEO codes, and I basically clipped a part that is all about CEO identity, CEO mindset, and it's really an energy activation, like a CEO identity activation, because I was straight channeling through, especially the second half of this, and the frequency was just electric. So I can't wait to hear how you feel after listening to this. And also, of course, you're going to learn a lot about just the energetics and the embodiment of what you really need to step into to become a successful CEO and to really embody that identity and to build the business of your dreams from the ground up. Just to remind you guys, I started my business just a year and a half ago from literally nothing. I had no idea what the frick I was doing. I went through like every trial and error, every twist and turn, so many lessons, so many quote unquote failures, right? And now literally again, I am working with multiple dream clients. I'm working consistently. I had my first 5K month, my first 7K month. I'm consistently making money through my business and loving my life. My confidence has just like night and day from where it was. I'm truly showing up in my expert energy every day because as you can probably tell from me talking, like I really know that I know my shit. And I'm just so grateful and blessed to literally be living this life and to realize that I literally created this again from nothing in just the past year and a half. So just take that and be like, oh my God, like imagine where you could be 6 months from now if you really went all in and just believed in yourself and invested in yourself and believe that what you think and want to be possible is actually possible, like all the way down to your bones. And then you acted from that place. So this portion from the training that I'm going to share with you today is going to absolutely help to activate you into that energy. And whatever you feel by the end of this podcast episode, end of listening to this, I want you to take immediate inspired action from that energy. Okay. It's so powerful. And you are going to be in a really elevated frequency once this episode is over. And I want you to take action immediately from that. All right. Connect to yourself, connect to your higher self, connect to your intuition and ask, okay, what is my next empowered action step? What would the CEO version of me do? What would the future successful, booked out, rich bitch version of me, badass bitch version of me do? And I say bitch in the most respectful, badass way, right? And I want you to take inspired, empowered action from that frequency. All right. So I cut up a little bit. It's actually like 3 sections together. So in the Magnetic CEO Codes training, it was actually like 10 codes we went through. So one of the codes was CEO identity and mindset. And so that's kind of what I talk about in the first half. I also included the part where I talk about making your own rules just because like that's my catchphrase and it felt very relevant to the conversation. And then you may or may not notice about halfway through, I say, okay, and then the last one is, that's actually completely cut out the middle. And that is from the last element, which was believing in yourself, basically, and believing that you're worthy. But it's so much more than that, and you need to listen. But just so you know, it's kind of cut up. If you want access to the full training, just send me a DM. Can't believe I forgot to mention this. All right, so this is a portion of it. But if you want access to the full training in the full masterclass about the magnetic CEO codes, just send me a message and I will send it to you for free. Okay, you just have to literally ask. All right, this is also a lesson. Ask the universe for what you want. So if you literally just DM me and ask for the full training, I will send it to you. You will not regret it. So that is all I have to say on that. I just give you like 20 minutes of intro, but it's very important. So without further ado, enjoy this CEO identity activation, and I cannot wait to hear what you think. Love you. So the first of the magnetic CEO codes is, could have guessed it, my catchphrase, you make the rules. Okay? So that means that you literally get to decide everything about what your business looks like, about what it means for you to be successful, about what it takes for you to be successful, about how hard or easy it is to get clients. You literally get to decide. Okay? So given this, set your expectations of what you want. When you're really embodied in your leadership and your CEO identity, you don't assume anything based off of the world around you, right? Because you know that you create your reality. So we set the expectation, right? We don't assume you're going to have to settle for clients that flake or clients that can't pay your prices. And then it's going to be hard because, oh, well, like no one wants to pay this much for the thing that I offer, stuff like that, right? Or if you're a coach, right? Oh, like the client, I'm going to have to drag my clients through the mud and they're not going to be empowered, right? Like don't assume that, right? If you catch yourself, this is what I always say, right? When we say it gets to be easy and you make the rules. Anytime you catch yourself feeling like something's going to be a struggle or something is going to feel forced or something doesn't feel exciting, ask yourself, why doesn't it feel that way? What am I assuming to be true about this? And then rewrite it. All right. So it can even be like, oh, I have to work overtime to do this and this, right? Or even if maybe like social media is not for you and it doesn't feel exciting to post on social media, but everyone else posts on social media. So you're like, I have to post on social media. No, you don't. What if you just made it a rule that your dream clients find you through other avenues? You know what I mean? So this is really about operating from a realm of infinite possibility. Don't assume you have to settle. Don't assume anything limiting or contracting. I talked about this on the podcast the other day too. Anytime you're afraid of committing to something, it's really just because you're assuming a limitation inherent to that commitment, right? So choose to assume, because you make the rules, choose to assume expansion, alignment, ease, right? Choose to assume that it's easy to make money. Choose to assume that you make more money the more fun you have, right? Instead of assuming that you have to work really hard and struggle to make more money, right? Become aware of the subconscious stories, because that's what the assumptions are. Those are the stories that are in your subconscious, and choose to write new ones. So this comes down to every aspect of your business. Comes back to what kind of boundaries you're allowed to have. A lot of people get caught in like, we think we have to sacrifice certain boundaries in order to call in clients. And this is what was in the voice memo I sent you guys today. Your dream clients are literally the clients that are perfectly aligned to exactly how you want to run your business, exactly the service you want to provide, exactly the boundaries you want to have, exactly the price you set. That's why they're your dream clients. Like, your dream clients are the ones that exist in that realm of infinite possibility where you make the rules of how they show up. If they're self-led, how you show up, what's required of you, what's required of them, what kind of pricing they're willing to pay, how they feel about pricing. What if you make a rule that the clients that come to you don't even like think twice about pricing? And they're just like, yeah, oh my God, sign me up. And you don't even have to have a hard conversation about it, right? What are your responsibilities? And what's required to be successful? What does success look like, right? That's another thing of like, we often hold ourselves back from the next level of success because we're assuming certain things that mean about that level of success. We might assume it means that like more people are going to hate us. Or again, a big one is we assume that we're going to have to work harder and we're going to have more responsibilities that we don't want, right? And it's like, how can I rewrite that? So every step along the way, to maintain the feeling of flow and ease and fun and alignment in your business, we have to come back to this. Why doesn't it feel expansive? What do I need to rewrite? What am I assuming? And then choose to write a new story. So that is number one. It is like, I feel like probably the most important one, but I also feel like I'm going to say that about everyone. All right. So number two, CEO identity and mindset. We also kind of talked about this in that voice memo I forwarded you guys. This is a really, really, really big one though. A big aspect of the CEO identity. So what this is, where this comes from is like the CEO mindset versus the employee mindset, right? So as an employee, like, you are not the boss. Like, someone else is holding you accountable. You don't have to hold yourself accountable. You're following somebody else's directions. You're doing work for someone else, right? As an entrepreneur running your own business, you can't be in that mindset. You can't be waiting for other people to validate you, or to be like, is this a good decision, or should I do that, or are you willing to pay this? And so then, I guess I can charge that if it looks like you're willing to pay that, or would you be into this kind of product? Because then I guess I'll get that product, right? We have to be a leader in every single way. That's the most important thing. So we have to be a leader when it comes to how we run our business. When we run into challenges, right, and we don't know what to do, we don't just say, oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh, well, that sucks. I just can't do that because I don't know how to use technology, or because I don't know this or that, right? We ask questions. We seek support when necessary. We reach out to a coach. We reach out to someone who's done it before, a mentor, a friend, anyone. We look it up. We get our hands dirty. We figure things out, right? As an entrepreneur, you're on the front lines all the time. You're always up against an edge, and you don't know how things are going to go. And a big thing is people are like, oh, well, like, but I don't know how to do that. Like, then figure it out. What else are you going to do? Right? And it's like, if you don't want that, this is like really the biggest thing, because I think a lot of people make the shift into entrepreneurship, and you have to really, really be ready to be an entrepreneur and be ready to be on the front lines like that. like to have that trust in yourself and that self-accountability and that self-responsibility, because we're not used to that. And I think a lot of us, like, we throw ourselves into it and we're like, whoa, I actually kind of wish someone else would be telling me what to do still, because I really don't like trust myself. Like, I don't like having this much responsibility, right? So that's one of the biggest shifts you will make, is learning to trust yourself to make those decisions. And believing in yourself, right? Like, you know what? Talking yourself down, it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to like watch a YouTube video and figure out how to do this. I'm going to learn from other people, face the challenges head on, pump yourself up every single day. We're going to talk later about celebration, but you guys know I'm always talking about hyping yourself up. Like, literally hype yourself up. Be like, I'm a bad bitch. That's what I'm always saying. You're a bad bitch. Get in that bad bitch energy. All you know it. If you're in my classes, you know it. If you're on my page, you know it. Because that's the energy you need to be in. Like, I'm a badass and I can handle it. I can handle it. And you need to believe that. And then you need to act on that belief. And then self-accountability and self-responsibility, like, you need to show up. Again, you need to be showing the fuck up. This is another big thing that people talk about, especially in the beginning. Consistency. I'm just not staying consistent, or I'm just not doing that, or I'm not doing that, or I want to do that, but I'm not. And it's like, you have to show up, and you can't look at it as optional. Again, if you're an employee for someone else, it's like, it's not your company. It's not affecting you, but this is your mission. This is your vision. And that's why I only work with heart-led, soul-led entrepreneurs who are doing something they're really, really passionate about. Because if you don't have that passion driving you, you're not going to be motivated. Okay, like, making money is not enough really to drive you, or it's going to be driving you out of lack, which is not going to work well for you. All right. But you really have to make your vision so big and be so connected to your why and why are you doing this, that you literally don't feel like you have a choice to not show up. Okay, I literally say every day, I'm like, I'm not showing up for me. I'm showing up for the people who need to hear my message. That's what I'm fucking showing up for. I don't have a choice to be afraid. Oh, but like, what if these other people judge me? Like, I'm scared to show it. Like, they don't care about that. Like, I'm not here for them. I'm here for the people that I'm here for. Right? And so no matter what you do, whether you're a coach, because I know we have people in all sorts of different niches in this program, it's like, why are you doing this? Like, what is the value that you're bringing to people? And you know that there are people that you were literally put on this earth to bring that value specifically to. So connect to that vision and make your vision so big. This is a quote. I forgot who said it. I think it's been said all over in like the self-development, motivational world, whatever. But it's like, if you're not showing up consistently, your vision is not big enough. So make it bigger. And what do you have to do to stop viewing success as optional? Like, why are you still viewing it as optional? Why are you still viewing showing up as optional? What do you need to do to really treat yourself like a CEO and be like, I show up and I go to work every day? It's not like this is, I think I wrote this somewhere later in here, but it's like losing that, like, oh yeah, I'm trying to build this business, or even saying like, I'm building this business. Be like, I'm running a business. The way that you talk about it makes a big difference. I am a CEO. I am an entrepreneur. Whatever you're stepping into, whatever next level you're stepping into, get rid of the language of like, yeah, I'm like going into this, trying to make this happen. Like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. You are the boss. And then another thing about the self-responsibility and the responsibility really to your business and your mission is lose the ego. Okay. Again, this is what I was kind of saying about, I don't have time to be like, oh, I'm afraid what people are going to think, so I can't post this, right? Your job as a CEO is to make the best decision for the well-being of you and your business. So the best decision for the well-being of you and your business. So that means if you're sick and you have something scheduled and you're feeling like, oh, I really should show up and do that, but I'm not going to do a good job at it, you don't push through being sick, because that's not the best decision for the well-being of you and your business. Okay. And it also means that if there's something you really should do or feeling called to do and you're scared to do it, lose the ego, because staying small and playing small and not doing it is not the best decision for the well-being of you and your business. Right. So again, it's just putting that vision above everything else and just going all in. Become allergic to excuses. It's really just that fuck shit up energy. I don't have time to procrastinate. Like, I'm over it. I'm over really stepping into the bad bitch energy. It's like you kind of really just have like that self-discipline and that focus and like loving the hard work. Right. And if you didn't listen to my podcast episode on that, then highly recommend. We talked a lot about like how you define hard work. Right. And hard work doesn't mean being miserable or struggling. It means being focused and intentional and committed to whatever you're creating. And if you're driven by excitement and passion, then you actually will love to do that. You'll love to work hard and to be focused and intentional on what you're creating, right? So we have to heal our relationship with hard work and commitment if we have resistance to that, if we're associating it with burnout or struggle, right? Or tedious work or monotony, right? And how can we realign the concept of hard work and focus and commitment with expansion and excitement and fun, right? So we have to be okay with working hard and leading ourselves and holding ourselves accountable and remembering through that we make the rules, right? And staying connected to our heart and our why and your vision, driven by unshakable belief in your vision, your inevitable success. Again, it's not optional, not like wondering if you're going to be successful. You just know the success is inevitable, and all you have to do is just keep showing up. That's all you have to do, right? There's no room for doubt. And you're not basing your actions off of anything outside of you. So again, you have to be connected to the long-term vision. Again, you can't be chasing this immediate external validation and being like, oh, well, no one viewed my story, so like no one's interested, right? It's like the people are waiting for me who are interested, and I'm showing up for them, and I know they're there, and I just have to keep showing up consistently, and I will reach them, right? And we don't base our confidence or our consistency or our belief that we'll be successful off of if people are engaging back to us or how many inquiries we're getting for appointments or for sessions, right? It's the be, do, have, right? So we show up like we already have it, then we act in accordance with that, and then we manifest it externally. Instead of, well, I'm going to wait until I have people reaching out to take myself seriously and then show up like I am someone that already is making a ton of money and has a bunch of clients, right? We have to go the other way around. Identity comes first. That's what this is all about, your identity. So we have to show up with that I am already here mindset. We manifest what we embody. Whatever it is you're stepping into, more clients, a pivot in your business, more money. I am already here. I'm already doing it. How would you show up differently if you were already there? It's a question we have to be asking over and over again. And then a big thing is you are an empowered leader. You're not in a victim mentality or a follower mentality. Okay, so that means that you're not blaming anything outside of you for why things aren't working. You're not comparing to others or subscribing to stories about why it's not working, why you can't do this, why others are more successful than you, right? Oh, well, like because my kids and my family and this and they're always causing issues and I can't do it. Like, no. We're blaming outside. How do we take the power back? Oh, I just don't have enough time and I had this and this. How do we take the power back? Oh, but like people aren't watching, or people like, stories about algorithm. Oh, people just like don't like this kind of content anymore. It's so hard to find it. But unsubscribe to any story that you are making up to why something's not happening and take the power back. You have to stay in that empowered mindset all the time with everything in life, even with money, right? Oh, like prices are just so expensive. Like, I know that there are external circumstances that feel like they are affecting us, but you can't live at effect, right? You have to live at cause. You are the creator. Are you the creator of your reality or not? As long as we're waiting for things outside of us to change, to start acting a certain way, we're always going to be waiting. When you're waiting, you're not creating. So we have to be leading with action, leading with our embodiment, creating and not waiting. All right. And this goes into our business too, with the way that we relate to clients and what we offer. Lead from desire and not demand. Again, don't base your prices off of what you think people will pay. Base your prices off of what feels aligned to you. Don't create an offer based off of what you think people want. Oh, I think people want a masterclass. I think people want a course. I think people want this kind of service. I think people want that. What do you feel excited about offering? Oh, but I've never seen that done before. Great. Awesome. That is going to make it so much more unique. Right? So be a leader in every way. Be a trendsetter. Go first. Do something people have never done. Guess what? I was using Telegram before anyone else was using Telegram. Fun little known fact, because I joined the coaching industry and everyone was on Voxer and I was like, what the fuck is this? This app sucks. I was like, I'm using Telegram. And everyone else was still using Voxer. And then like 6 months later, I started seeing everyone be like, guys, like, why are we using Voxer? It's really a shitty app. And everyone moved over to Telegram. And I was like, I know. Been doing that. So like, just because you see certain standards in the industry that you're in doesn't mean you have to do it. Again, if it doesn't feel expansive, it doesn't feel fun and exciting, don't do it. You literally get to make the rules and do whatever you want. And the more that you go against the grain, the better, because that's going to make you stand out. All right. So we lead from desire and we trust. This is the big thing about the self-trust. You trust that because the desire is on your heart, the demand is there, because it wouldn't be there otherwise. All right. Your desires are planted for a reason. I always say your desire is your permission. So you don't need to wait for permission or validation from anyone outside of you that it's a good idea, right? This is something I started doing. I highly encourage you to all practice this, is every time a question pops into your head about your business that is not like a how-to necessarily, but maybe a how-to, but really when it's like, oh, like I'm wondering if I should change the name of this, or I'm wondering if I should offer this here or here. Instead of just immediately like going to ask your coach or going to ask a friend or going to ask your partner or whatever it is, just take a minute and like sit and just like ask your body. Literally, you usually have the answer. And we just don't really want to ask ourselves those questions because we don't want to accept whatever the answer is for whatever reason. So literally just stop and ask yourself, okay, well, like, what do I want? And just see what comes through, because I promise something will come through. It's normally that we don't want to accept the answer because we're scared that people aren't going to like it. We're scared it's not going to work and we don't want to trust it. We want the validation from someone else. A little hack you can do is imagine if whoever you're going to ask is like, oh my God, yes, I love that. I think you should definitely do that, right? And validating whatever your gut is already saying. And then it's kind of like a giveaway. Oh yeah, okay, that is what I really want to do. I'm just kind of scared to admit it, right? So we have to be a leader in every way and we have to trust ourselves. Yeah, commitment, consistency, follow through. I've already kind of said that, but the follow through I want to touch on a little bit more. You have to trust yourself to follow through on your commitments. You have to trust yourself in the sense that because you're breaking self-trust if you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. Every time you say, I'm going to do this and then I don't do it, you're breaking the self-trust, right? And you're casting a vote for I'm not someone that follows through or stays committed or stays consistent, right? So this is why it's so important to lead from desire, because it's going to be hard to stay committed and consistent and follow through on something that you're not excited about, right? Like you're going to fall out on a launch. You're going to not really be excited about marketing to people about something that you're not really excited about from the get-go when you don't have you're not super clear in your vision, right? I just posted some stories about this today. And I was like, you know what? When I first launched this mastermind, to be completely honest, I really wasn't super in alignment. Like I wasn't really clear in my vision of it. And that reflected in the way that I played out the launch and the results of the launch, And so it's like, you're not always going to be perfect, but I still followed through on the launch. And I was just like, you know what? I recognize that I'm like not really in a great place and I'm not expecting the results to match that, but I'm going to follow through because I'm not someone that quits in the middle of a launch. You know what I mean? And I trust the process. So I trust I'm going to follow through. And if I only get one sign up, I'm only meant to get one sign up for whatever reason. I'm going to follow through on this. And if it doesn't go the way that I'm expecting or thinking I want it to go, I trust that it's for a reason and there's a lesson for me here. And it's all a required part of the process for me to get where I want to go. All right. So follow through. Even this comes down to little actions, not even just like big things, but like if you say you're going to plan something, or you say you're going to put something on your website, or you say that you're going to get up and spend 3 hours of deep work, or you're going to do this and that, do it. And really, really practice not committing to things that you don't think you're going to follow through on, right? This is where like we get rid of the word try. If you catch yourself, I call clients out on this all the time. Like we'll be on a call and we'll be like, yeah, so like that. And they're like, okay, I'll try to do that. And I'm like, why are you going to try? Why aren't you going to do it? And they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. Right. And then I'm like, when are you going to do it? I don't know. I'm like, why don't you do it like right now? Why don't you do it right after this call? Like you have to be that savage with yourself. Have you ever seen Mel Robbins talking about, the like 5-minute window? She's like, there's 5 minutes between an idea and then when you execute on the idea. And if you don't act in those 5 minutes, then the chance of you executing on that idea are way lower. Right? So like quick action, we're going to talk about that too, but really just try to be conscious and intentional. This is a bit, I don't even think I remember to write intention on here, but being intentional with your actions and being conscious and thoughtful about what am I saying yes to, right? Like we talk about intuition, but like listening to your full body yes and no, and not saying yes to something if it's not a full body yes. Don't make a plan to work on something tomorrow if you're not confident you're going to work on it, right? If you're not going to do anything tomorrow, if you're going to only get one thing done, commit to just that. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be casting votes over and over that I'm going to just say I'm going to do stuff and just not do it, right? Because that's not a CEO, how a CEO shows up, right? And then the last thing is trust and believe. So to be a magnetic CEO, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your worth. You have to believe you are worthy. Believe you are inherently, infinitely whole and complete and worthy of love, of abundance, and of everything that you desire. Period. No but. No, you have to do this to be worthy. No, you have to do this for it to be possible. You just are. It just is. You just have to believe that. Make that your truth. Just choose to believe that. Choose to live in a reality where miracles happen. Again, a lot of people, they say to me, I'm just not believing it's possible. I'm just not believing in myself. I'm just not believing I'm worthy. If you're aware of it, you're choosing to attach to the story, right? Why are you choosing? Just choose to believe it. Just choose to believe you are. Just choose to believe you are. What do you have to lose by choosing to believe that you are? Because you are. And I know you are. Deep down, I know you are, right? So we need to unsubscribe from that story that we're not. And if we're like, I'm just not believing, why? Why are you not believing? Because let's start breaking down those fears and get back to truth, right? The truth will set you free every single time. So you need to believe that you are worthy of everything you desire, that you are worthy of love, of abundance, that you are worthy of a reality that is bigger and better than you could ever imagine, Because this is the belief ties all the way back to number one, full 360. You're not going to write expansive rules if you don't believe that they're possible or that you're worthy of them. So it's like this constant cycle, okay? We're founded on this belief. We are worthy. We are capable. You are the creator of your reality. You literally are magic. You literally create this reality and you can choose what kind of reality you want to live in, what rules you want to play by. So choose to live in a reality where miracles happen. You could choose to live in a reality where things suck and nothing goes your way, or you could choose to live in a reality where everything is happening for you and miracles happen every day. This or something better. Trust the process, right? Trust that everything is happening for you. And don't pedestal anything outside of you. Believe that you are a badass. Believe that you are magnetic. Again, a lot of people, they're like, oh, you're so magnetic. I just need to be like you. I don't have that. Fuck that. Yes, you do. Believe that you do. Claim it. You see it. You got it. If you could see it in someone else, you have it inside of you. You're just being called to embody it more and believe that you have it. So don't pedestal anything outside it. Don't pedestal that person because that person has this, that person has that. They have more time. They have more money. They have more experience. They have more confidence. Don't put them above you. You are right up there, girl. You are right up there. Get in that clean energy. Believe in yourself. Pedestal yourself. Coming back to that self-obsession, pedestal yourself. All right? You are the boss. You are a badass. You are magnetic. You are capable. You are worthy. You can do it. You already have it. So just choose to believe it and claim it and give yourself permission. Give yourself permission. You don't need permission from anything else. Again, don't pedestal anything outside of you. Don't pedestal the clients. Don't pedestal the money. Give yourself the permission. Don't pedestal anyone else's opinion. Don't pedestal my opinion. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to choose. And the last thing is make decisions based on your future vision and not on past experiences or your current 3D. You have to make decisions based on the future vision, on what you're calling in. Again, be, do, have. We cannot make a decision based off of what's happened in the past or where we are now, right? If we're investing in ourselves and in our business, oh, I'm just going to wait until I have more clients, until I'm making more money, and then I'll invest. No. Because does the successful version of you make investments in herself and her business? Yeah. So are you going to become a successful version of you by waiting to invest? No. Right? Does a successful version of you show up every day in her business? Yes. So are you going to wait until you have the clients or until you're making more money to see yourself as successful and show up every day and show up like you have a right to? No, you're going to show up that way now. All right. So ask yourself, how would the future version of myself show up? What decisions would she make? What would indicate to me that I'm at the next level? And where am I not choosing that now? Where am I looking at other business owners, other coaches, other entrepreneurs, and being like, they're ahead of me, they're above me? Why am I looking at them that way? How do they show up differently than how I show up? What do they have that I don't have that I think is giving them permission to show up a certain way that I'm not showing up as? This is like, take yourself seriously. View yourself. You have to view yourself at that next level. And then act accordingly. And then it will manifest externally. But you can't wait. You can't wait to have more followers to give yourself permission to show up like people give a shit about what you're talking about. You can't wait until you're making more money to invest in yourself. You can't wait until you're making more money to show up like your work is valuable. You have to start showing up that way now and make the decisions and show up based off of what would the future version of myself that already has this thing and knows my success is inevitable. What decision do they make with everything? What decision do they make? Not based on, well, it hasn't worked in the past. If you only base your decisions off of what you have and what you've had, guess what you're going to get? More of the same. That's literally all you can get. If you only base off of what you can already perceive of from your past experiences, then you can only create more of that. You have to be open to possibility and what you don't know and letting yourself be surprised. Because the only way to experience something you've never experienced is to do something you've never done. It's going to happen in a way that you can't conceive of because it hasn't happened before, right? It's like, oh, I'm not believing I'm going to make $1 million because you're basing it off of, well, what has my past experience been? I haven't made $1 million. So of course, based off that, I don't think it's possible. But other people have made $1 million. So what do they have that I don't have? The future version of me that's made $1 million. What does she know that I don't know? How would I act differently if I already had the million? If I already had the clients? Connect to that future vision every day, that future version of yourself, and show up as her. Make decisions from her state of mind, from her belief system, not based off the past, not based off the current. All right. It is future/present John Marie checking back in for just a little outro. I know that you are feeling hype as fuck and incredibly activated. So again, just want to remind you, what are you feeling inspired to act on right now? Take that action, right? Is it to go make the page? Is it to go make a post? Is it to go learn something? Go look something up? Go share your idea with somebody? Is it to do something for yourself? Is it to send me a message and tell me how much you love the episode and say, oh my God, please let me into CEO Frequency. I need to be in this energy. Let me into the mastermind. I'm ready to invest. I'm so fucking ready to make this happen. What is it? Go take that empowered action, take that inspired action, show up as the CEO of your freaking business and your freaking life. You are a badass. I love you so much. Thank you for listening. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or night wherever you are, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.